Tonight on The Inspectors, trouble at an Orpin takeaway.
There are too many problems here. Way too many problems.
Also, the stray city chickens that get their comeuppance.
The neighbour came over last night offering everyone in the neighbourhood chicken soup.
And an Auckland Council harbour master has a run-in with a foul-mouthed fisherman. Auckland Council's Environmental Health Officer, Ashleen Mishra, is heading out to do an annual food hygiene inspection in one of the city's takeaways. The takeaway currently has a B grade, but it depends on what Ashleen finds as to whether they keep it.
Hi, I'm Auckland Council. Just here to do your grading inspection.
Ashleen starts at the back of the shop and is amazed with what she sees.
Oh, wow, it's huge in here.
Ashleen's first concern is the low light levels in blown bulbs.
Where's this one? Why isn't that one working?
Oh, this
And
one.
that
It's a
one.
long time ago, so I don't know.
That one.
The inspection starts with her photographing evidence.
Open bags of dry goods. This one. Clothes and handbags inside our food premises. It's two. Open bottles of mayonnaise. What's going on in here?
Ashleen is concerned about some basic food safety issues.
What does this say?
I can't understand this.
You can't understand?
Yeah.
It says once opened, refrigerate and use within 4 weeks.
Oh, this one for putting cool.
You have to put it in the cool room.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's now half empty.
Yeah.
So I can't let you keep this
Okay.
because it's probably gone off.
Okay.
Okay? So can you throw this away, please?
Okay, thank you.
She also gets him to start removing some of the clutter.
What's this? Rubbish? All the rubbish? Outside. Tools, 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 tools. Out. Our legislations say that bedding materials should not be in a food premises. That's why that needs to go.
She can't believe what she's seeing.
He's got so much junk in here. It's such a big place that he just packs it with unnecessary things like TVs and ladder, boards, a bathtub.
Ashleen is discovering this place is a rabbit warren with bits and pieces put away everywhere. There should only be foodstuffs and equipment associated with the business itself.
You can't keep this here. Where's the fan?
Oh,
Yeah.
Ashleen is becoming concerned at the lack of hygiene and cleanliness amongst all the clutter.
This stuff needs to be put in containers with lids.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, you can't leave it open.
Okay.
If there was a cockroach running around, he will go straight in there.
Okay.
I don't want
Yeah.
to ever see this box in here. Okay? Because your chicken came in here and you may accidentally store your vegetables. And that's no good, is it?
Yeah.
Okay? This is where they wash their hands. There's no paper towels. The sign's here, wash your hand here, and yet they've got fish. You need to get rid of all this junk,
Yeah.
and then you need to fix this stuff, okay?
Okay.
Paint it
Paint,
nicely.
paint.
I don't want to see this.
Okay.
And it isn't long until Ashleen uncovers evidence that there may be a pest problem.
Let me show you what cockroach feces look like. There's signs of cockroaches' feces. Little black spots. Little black spots up there. They're all up there.
The filth is everywhere.
This is what they touch every day because they turn lights on and off. And look at what they're touching.
With the inspection almost over, Ashleen has bad news for the owner.
There are too many problems here. Way too many problems. I cannot let you keep your B grade.
So Ashleen has to change the grade and drops it from a B grade to a D grade. And she'll be back to make sure the massive cleanup is done. Auckland Council's bylaws officer Teresa Paul has been called out to investigate a cul-de-sac in South Auckland, which is overrun with chickens.
As part of council bylaws, you can't have chickens in an urban area. You certainly can't have them wandering, and you can't have roosters.
Teresa's first job is to see how many chickens are freely roaming between the houses. But that's not an easy job, because the little critters keep outsmarting her.
There's a little guy here just jumping between the fence between the two houses, so it's really hard. And because they all look alike, you're not sure if it's the same chicken that you're counting twice.
Teresa then talks to the neighbours to see where the chooks are nesting.
Have you spoken to the owner?
No, I'm going there next.
Well, what he's going to do? He'll round them all up there and he'll chuck them in the pot, won't he?
Well, at least I'll be gone. I've just spoken to the gentleman over there, and he's had them there for quite a while and would actually like to wring their necks, apparently. They've got a mother chook and 8 chicks, along with another 4 chickens over there. So, I mean, we're up around the 20s already, counting them out.
Another neighbour's also fed up with being woken at the crack of dawn by roosters.
They're pests. They're here every day, ripping up my rubbish. Chicken poo everywhere, very unhygienic for my children. Yeah, just want them gone, really.
I'll go and talk to the owner now and say, well, this is how many I've counted and this is how many are allowed.
On her way to the chicken owner's home, she discovers another poultry party going on next door.
Goodness, where do they come from? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know where number 12's gone. Okay, so we've got 11 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chicks. Well, that's certainly going to bounce our numbers up. So we've got 34 so far, and we haven't been to the main house, so let the fun begin.
Teresa's now got to confront the owner and tell him to confine 12 of his favourite chickens and get rid of the other 19.
Morning! Hiya!
The owner says he's got rid of all the roosters and that there's only 12 chickens left, but that's clearly not the case.
All gone. There's only the 12.
But I've counted 31.
It's not 31.
Yeah, there's 31. I've counted them.
But this rooster's not interested in culling his chickens. He wants to know who dobbed him in.
I can't tell you who complains,
Why?
because if you
Why
ring
are
up...
you tell me to
If
why
I-
are you come to see me with my chicken?
I have to, because you own them.
Huh.
I feel bad. They were his pets, and he's already killed like so many of them, and he's doing his best, and I just feel a little bit sorry for him.
But in the end, the law is the law, and Teresa has had to lay it down.
He needs to get the 12 that he loves the most, no rooster, and put them into a pen, and I'll come back Monday and see if he's actually done what I've asked him to do.
Coming up, no more chances for the cheeky chicken owner.
There's no more second, third, fourth chances.
And it's party time on Orpins Harbor, but not everyone's prepared.
Taking far too long to find a life jacket, guys. And the man in the red one there, that's on back to front.
It's Auckland Anniversary Day, and on the Waitemata Harbour, pleasure boaters and recreational fishermen have flocked to the water. On duty is Auckland Council's Harbour Master Duty Officer Mick Courtnell.
Quite a few events on today. There's a programmed tugboat race, there's a Wakarama race. Our job today is to be out here and just check that the recreational traffic doesn't get in the way of the races. I'll be checking that we don't have any small boats anchored in the way of the tugboats when the race is on. People are carrying the correct number of life jackets. We'll issue infringements if people are not correct in that regard. We're not out to spoil people's fun, but if they're out on the water, they need to fit in with the regulations that are in place.
It's only a matter of minutes before Mick spots a small boat with a lot of very big men in it.
Okay, anniversary today. All these tugboats coming down towards you, getting set up for a big race. You know about that?
You can leave there.
So there'll be a fair bit of weight coming through here, and to be fair, guys, you're almost quite overloaded in there. Not a lot of freeboard. Can that life jacket do up? Regarding the carriage of life jackets, they need to be one for each person, but they must be correctly fitting as well. So really, Captain, I don't want to see that one again, okay? You need to treat yourself to a new life jacket.
But there are more fishermen oblivious to the dangers of mooring in a commercial shipping lane, with a fleet of 20 big tugboats coming their way.
Guys, you're actually anchored in the commercial channel here, which you can't do. So yeah, get your line in, please. Pick up your anchor. Also, see all these tugs in front of you? They're not coming to see what you've caught. So it's quite important we keep these small boats out of the way. As you can see, there's a chop being created here that's quite dynamic. Tip little boats like that over quite easily. So we're just clearing them out of the way. Tugboats are coming through for the start of the tug race in about 10 minutes. Should be good fun.
The race is underway and the water is churning. Mick spots another small craft with men aboard who don't realise the danger they are in.
Now, I need to see 4 really good life jackets, please. You should be able to grab them very, very quickly. If your boat was sinking, do you understand it's a legal requirement to carry life jackets? Right, and you as the captain, you're responsible for all these people's lives. I want to see one more, because at the moment you're illegal and I'm going to send you home. Taking far too long to find a life jacket, guys. The man in the red one there, that's on back to front. So it's not looking good so far.
But the news gets worse for the captain and his fishermen friends.
Okay, and I get your details, Captain. All right, and you've broken a navigational safety bylaw by allowing these people to come out on your boat when you don't have enough life jackets for them all. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is a fineable offence. I'll be sending you a fine, but right now, once I've taken your details, I'm going to send you home. So I've instructed them to go to the nearest boat ramp, and I'm just escorting them over to Okahu Bay now. They'll have to drop off their 4th person without a life jacket. They can then go back and recover the boat, and they can drive around and pick up their 4th member.
So, for the young man they have put ashore, it's an early end to what was meant to be a good day's fishing.
Yeah, bro. Unlucky day.
It's a week later, and Auckland Council's bylaws officer, Teresa Paul, is back to see if the owner of the stray chickens has followed her instructions and put them in a pen.
You can see that that hasn't happened. They're still wandering around the street.
Because the chicken owners clearly ignored her instructions, Teresa will now have to have the chickens seized. First, though, she's got to find them. So she tries a house where she knows they are being fed.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm a bit concerned because you've been feeding them. The original owner of all these chickens, when he feeds them, they all come to him for food. Yeah. These ones aren't going for food because they're being fed here. Oh. So these effectively become your chickens.
Oh, but I didn't know that.
This woman's harbouring 13 of the rogue chickens, which means there are plenty more on the street. Looks like this is a free-range paradise.
Oh, there's one. There's 2. There's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So will Teresa be able to knock the poultry man off his perch and get him to pen his chickens?
Is your dad home?
Yeah.
Can I speak to him, please? What's the story?
He tells Teresa his church friends are coming to pick the chickens up today. But how on earth are they going to catch them all?
Okay, so they'll all be gone tonight. They'll all be gone today. What time today are they coming to pick them up? I can't give you another week.
Teresa gives the man till Friday to get his chickens off the road and into a pen.
That gives you, what are we now? That gives you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days to build a coop.
Next, the cheeky man asks Teresa if she can give him some wire so he can make his pen.
I haven't got any wire. If I had spare wire, I would drop it off to you. But I don't generally carry wire.
One last ultimatum.
If they're not confined by Friday at 10 o'clock in their own little compound, we'll have no choice but to come and collect them. And then you'll get prosecuted for breaching the bylaw. We come back on Friday at 10 o'clock. I would expect to see nothing here except his 12 in a cage. And if they're not, there's no more second, third, fourth chances.
So what lies in store for these streetwise chooks? Is it a good church home or the chopping block? Coming up, the incredible takeaway transformation.
Oh my God, what happened in here?
And the perils of giving out speeding tickets on Orpins Harbor.
You and me, mate, any f***ing time.
Auckland Council's Environmental Health Officer, Ashleen Mishra, is back at a West Auckland takeaway. She had previously inspected it and lowered the food hygiene grade from a B to a D. On her last visit, she discovered a lot of mess, and the back of the shop was full of all sorts of odds and ends, even a bathtub. The place needed a huge clean-up, and she's here to check whether it happened.
Can I come in?
Yeah, come on.
Good. Oh my God, what happened in here? Huge, huge improvement. Last time I came here, this was packed with junk. There was junk absolutely everywhere. This is quite an amazement. What have you been doing?
All clean there.
Everything,
Yeah. You know, I'm not really see the woods. All clean, all clean.
Excellent.
The owners are obviously proud of their work, and Ashleen is impressed.
So these are the photos that I took earlier when I came. Right, you had so much stuff in here. You had tools, you had clothing, you had food stored everywhere. There was a stove that wasn't, had no extract canopy. I mean, you had a couch in here with blankets and all of it.
Ashleen starts checking items on her list that she wanted changed.
Where's the stove?
Was then go all the rubbish.
Out the rubbish?
Too old.
Excellent. Very good.
Next, she checks that dry goods have been stored properly in sealed containers.
Where have you put your flour? Where's your flour?
There. Find you one, all changed.
Very good.
Yeah.
So the reason why I want them put in containers is so that it's vermin proof, so that cockroaches and other undesirables can't get in there. So tight fitted lids, that's perfect. The last time I came, you had jackets and handbags and clothes and whatnot. That's all gone. So where do you put your personal clothing now? In there?
Outside.
Oh yes, I see it too.
You tell me to say put
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Previously, this bench area was a mess and also needed paper towels.
So you've got your paper towels, your soap. Good. That was the nail brush. And look at that. Brand new. Okay? This is the way I want it all the time.
They have also learnt their lesson when it comes to storing perishable goods.
Once you open that tartare sauce,
Not open.
yeah, once it's open, where are
Yeah.
you going to put it?
Yeah, put in the cooler.
Excellent.
Okay.
Very good.
Inspection over, and Ashleen gives the owner the news about the hygiene grade.
I am very, very happy. You guys have put in a lot of effort and a lot of time and hard work, and I can see that. If I had to grade you right now, you would definitely be up to a B grade. Okay?
B.
Definitely a B.
Yeah.
But when I come and do your regrade, I want you to aim for the A.
Unfortunately, the grade can't be changed until the scheduled inspection in 2 months, but Ashleen is thoroughly impressed.
So being an environmental health officer today makes my job feel just so good, so much better, so happy to be doing this, because if that's what I can do for one food premises, I mean, come on, it's just such a good feeling.
Auckland Council's bylaws officer, Teresa Paul, is back for the 3rd time to see if a man who let his 31 chickens roam freely in South Auckland has put 12 in a pen and got rid of the rest.
Nothing. There's not one chicken there. Our owner has actually done what he's supposed to do and get rid of them, but I guess I'm going to just carry on and knock all the way down. Make sure they're not still roaming, because if I get one even chick roaming, later on it's going to become a chook and then it's going to breed and I've got the same problem all over again. But no, there's nothing there, and that's where a lot of them were, so that in itself is a bonus. Hello? No, he hasn't seen them all week.
Not a chicken in sight. Looks like the man who owns them might have kept his word this time. But where have all the poor chooks gone?
She said that the chickens disappeared yesterday. And then the neighbour came over last night offering everyone in the neighbourhood chicken soup. So I don't know that I'm going to be very popular with a couple of people that do actually like the chickens, knowing that he turned them into soup over the weekend. But hey, they're not walking the streets, so my job's done.
The last thing Teresa has to check is that the chicken man has put his own chickens in a pen.
So have you got them penned? Can I just have a quick look? What happened with the neighbours across the road? Did they get offered some chicken soup? He's only got 12 and they're all confined down the back. He said, because there was 21 last time we were here, and he said he's got a friend down the road who's picked them up and turned them into curry. But I said to him, oh, how did your neighbours get the chicken soup? And he said, oh yes, he took some chicken soup over to these guys as a sorry, or to most of the neighbours, apologising for the mess that they've obviously made on the street and around the neighbourhood.
So no more chooks fouling the streets or roosters crowing at the crack of dawn. Just a hot pot of chicken broth steaming on the stove. It's anniversary day and Auckland Council Harbour Master Duty Officer Mick Courtnell is investigating a report about a derelict yacht on a council mooring that is sinking in Half Moon Bay.
At a report of this vessel, a member of the public, he noticed that some of the equipment was hanging over the side, so he's checked down below and she's actually making a fair bit of water. So rather than go back to the office and find out who the owner is, we'll go on board and pump some of the water out. And then when I come off duty tonight, I'll give the owner a call.
While the crewman ties up alongside, Mick takes a look below deck.
There's a fair bit of water on board. Our concern is that we don't start pumping any diesel out over the side, so we'll set our pump up and just gently pump it out, and if we're happy that there's at least sort of 24 hours of buoyancy left, we'll just give the owner a call and make him aware of his responsibility.
There's about half a metre of water that needs to be pumped out. Meanwhile, another harbour master, Mark Davis, is giving chase to a speeding boat in the Tamaki estuary. It's doing over 20 knots in a 5-knot zone.
You familiar with the 5-knot rule up here? You familiar with the 5-knot rule up here? How fast do you think you were going? 10? So it's still more than 5 knots.
The captain's passengers not happy.
You, me, mate, any time.
Mark escorts the boat and its foul-mouthed passenger to shore, where he gives them a stern warning and tells them they'll be up for a fine next time. Next week on The Inspectors, the council grapple with a compulsive hoarder who just can't give it up.
We've cleaned it up, but you know what? She starts bringing it all back again.
Hygiene horrors at a fast food takeaway.
Look at that. You can't sell that to the public if you've got mould growing right next to it.
And it's the SPCA to the rescue. A cow has a horn growing into its head.
Worst case scenario, the horn will keep growing and cause a slow and horrible death.